Those comments are very indicative of the mindset of people that do not see Black women as equal and as important and as impactful, even though we are more impactful than a lot of people. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lexi and it is day 3 of my 5-day 50K KandidKinks marathon celebration giveaway. And if this is your first video on my channel or just of this marathon, we reached 50K subscribers, really happy about it. I'm doing a video once a day for 5 days straight, and each video is going to have a giveaway. So stay until the end of the video to hear the giveaway rules for today's video. I'm tired already, it's a shame. But today's video is going to be a chit chat, get ready with me. I'm gonna do a really basic, light beat and talk about a topic that I've been seeing since yesterday. It's fairly new, and I just wanna talk about it because I think that I do have a more personalized maybe experience with the situation because I am born and raised in Miami-Dade County, and I was born and raised, I went to predominantly Latino schools, or I was surrounded by Latino people, and I have been in school and at work and majority of my life, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna put some clips on the screen, but basically Eva Longoria was doing a news interview and she made some comments that lots of Black women specifically and people are finding to be offensive and another form of erasure. So you guys know every once in a while I'll do a chit chat, get ready with me topic that I think affects or is important or pertains to Black women, and today is no different. I woke up with this like, oh, I can talk about this, you know, and because I think I'm from a city like Miami, I've experienced lots of different things under the guise of Black men preferring Latinas, under the guise of what beauty is in this city from a lens of the #1 attractive woman being a Latina, and just so many different things. And I think that as a Black woman, it's important to talk about these things. A lot of times it's just like, oh, who cares? Just shut up, just live your life. Don't worry about it, nobody cares. And I get that, but I also know that it's important to talk about these things. So I'm gonna put a clip on the screen of what Eva Longoria said on the news, and we're gonna discuss it. And I'm gonna obviously beat my face or whatever, you know, because why not?
If everyone got that on Tuesday night at 9 p.m., what you just walked us through, the huge margins I walked through in the last segment, the power of young voters, and particularly a diverse coalition, and really people of color, but specifically women of color, putting Joe Biden over the top and what that means. If that all just exploded along with, you know, a clear electoral vote margin a Tuesday night, that might have sunk in. Instead, we had a lot of other stuff between then and now that doesn't really matter. And so I wonder what you think about that, because going forward, this is also about power. And does the Democratic Party understand why it's back in power?
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. I mean, I think, you know, campaign financing needs to be looked at. I think the way in which we campaigned, there were so many false ads in Florida in Spanish. Spanish wasn't regulated the same as in English. And so I do think we need to take a look at that. Again, our work is just beginning. But I want to talk about what you just said about the women. The women of color showed up in big ways. Of course, you saw in Georgia what Black women have done, but Latina women were the real heroines here, beating men in turnout in every state and voting for Biden-Harris at an average rate close to 3-1. And that wasn't surprising to us. You know, Latinos are the CEOs of the households. They make all the financial decisions and healthcare decisions and educational decisions. Many Latinas are small business owners, and they wanted a plan for recovery for themselves, not for Wall Street. And so Trump's policies were never aimed at the struggling Latina community.
So I'll end it there because you got the gist. And before I get into, you know, her apology and her explanation, I wanted to say one thing before we let her talk some more, is that words mean things, okay? Words mean things. So let's dissect this. The reporter or whoever, I'm not really up on who this man is. I think he's a reporter. He said, basically, to summarize it, that women of color, so he said, women of color really showed up in this election, and they are largely, if not the reason, that the Democrats won this election. Okay? That's what he said, in more words than that. And just asked her to basically expound upon what he said and just continue the conversation. So she said, you know, some other words, and then went on to say, to bring up black women. He didn't bring black women up alone. He brought up the entire women of color, which includes black and brown women, you know. She went to say, let me bring up black women. Let me bring them up. So she brings us up, and she says that, yes, in Georgia, you know, referencing Stacey Abrams and the efforts that she made that, you know, obviously changed the tide in the state. She said that they did amazing. You know, we did amazing. I'm paraphrasing here. Y'all just heard it. In Georgia. But now the word but means something, right? Like we all can understand. We all, you know, understand, hopefully, that the word but means something. And I'm no dictionary, you know, but the word but is a contradictory word. You use that word to say in contrary to. Oh yes, you know, black women did amazing in Georgia, but Latina women are the real heroines in this election. Now, you know, the numbers are out here. The numbers are out here. If anybody wants to see the numbers, you know, who actually, as we already know, played a huge part in this election and the way that it went. But what I do want to talk about is the erasure of black women every time you turn around. This is a monumental time. This is really a time for people to acknowledge the importance and the value in black women in this country. Whether or not you agree with voting, whether or not you agree with who is president right now, the video isn't really about that. Okay, this video is more so about black women continually doing what needs to be done to do whatever they can, and essentially this time around, in my personal opinion, save democracy. And I'm not going to argue about that in the comments. I don't really care what you think about that, because at the end of the day, your opinion is your opinion, my opinion is my opinion. It's fine. But we are here to talk about the erasure of black women from Latina women in this scenario. So her saying that, yeah, you know, black women did crazy things in Georgia. No, sis, it was all over the country, first of all. But Latina women were the real heroines, and goes on to explain, you know, why they were the real heroines is very interesting to me and false, because at the end of the day, like we know, the numbers don't lie. So I don't really understand why she said what she said, because he didn't say black women were the real reason why the election went the way that it did. He said women of color, which includes you, Eva, and includes me, Eva, you know what I'm saying? And she had to separate it, you know? Okay, so sis went on Twitter because, you know, people was dragging her, and rightfully so, if you asked me. She went on Twitter and her Instagram and whatever the case is, and she apologized for the basically miscommunication. And she said, about my MSNBC interview, black women have long been the backbone of the Democratic Party, something we have seen played out in this election as well as previous ones. Black women absolutely should be applauded and lifted up. They brought the victory home in a big way. I was comparing Latinas to Latino men, not black women. I meant Latinas were the ones who showed up for our Latinx community. Finally, black women don't have to do it alone. Latina women and other women of color are standing with them and growing their voice and power. Together, we are unstoppable. Black women turned out 90% for Biden. As a Latina, aspire to be as engaged and as effective as they are. So apparently all of us that know language, you know, we took her words out of context. Now, I am someone that is very, I would say, like, understanding, and if someone says that they didn't mean what they said and woody woody whoop, depending on the situation, I tend to believe them. And in my heart, I want to believe Eva Longoria. I want to say maybe sis did not mean what came out of her mouth. Maybe she just, you know, kind of like word vomit or whatever. But I think that it's hard to believe that, because she said that we did well in Georgia alone. Only mentioned Georgia, not every other state, not nationwide, but only mentioned the state of Georgia. And then said, but. And then said that you're the real heroines. Real heroines, which with the way that you worded your phrase, it kind of says that Black women are being painted as the heroines, but Latina women are the real heroines. Now, again, like I said a million times, words mean things. So I'm just going off of what these words mean. So you saying real heroines, you saying the word but, and you describing how Latina women showed up and showed out in this election, seemingly comparing it to the way that Black women showed up and showed out in this election, it leaves me a little bit confused. But hey, sis said that she did not mean what she said. And what can we do but take it at face value? So I'm gonna leave it there. You know, I said my opinion. If she claims that she didn't mean it that way, you know, I can't call her a liar, but it is really hard for me to believe what she's saying based upon what I just said to you guys. Let me know in the comments how you felt about that. But I want to talk about the relationship between Latina women and Black women. That, okay? Because I mentioned I'm raised in a city that obviously white people are the majority here in Miami, and right after them it's Latinos, right? Latinx community is very, very large down here, and then there's us, the Black community, right? And I think that the way that she spoke, let me mention this real quick, it kind of erased Afro-Latina women, which are Black women, you know? And it felt like she put Black American women in a box, you know, and I don't even know if she was trying to include or not include Afro-Latina women in this convo, because it didn't really make sense to me. Because if he mentioned women of color as a reporter, why not just go off of that? Why separate it and then make it like she separated it and said but and the real heroines and woody 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 whoop? Like, are you counting or discounting Afro-Latina women? I say this to say that I think that people like to tell Black women to just be strong and who cares, and oh, don't worry about what they say and da 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 da. But when you live in an area that is predominantly Latino and you can't get jobs because you don't speak Spanish, and people don't respect you because you look a certain way, and then the men in your community prefer women that are Latina, it does affect you. And I mentioned on here before about like colorism and different things like that and hair texture. We had several combos about this topic, and I think that it's important to continue to have these conversations. And when I watch things like what Eva Longoria said in her interview, it just reminds me of the division and of how much work, you know, we have to do to combat the blatant disrespect and erasure that happens to Black women, you know, because we show up, we show out, and then you still disrespect us, you know, you still compare us. Again, she is comparing Black women to Latina women, and I don't understand why, because there was no reason to do that. And again, sis claims that wasn't her intention, so fine, whatever. It's just hard for me to, I guess, believe that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, because I am leaning towards you said what you said. And I'll leave it at that. I definitely try to always bring a positive component to all of these types of videos. I don't ever want them to be like, woe is us, being black sucks, you know, like, oh my god, they hate us. Because frankly, I do want you to feel like you are that and that nobody can tell you nothing. And even when people disrespect you on a large platform or a small platform, or when you feel like the people in your own community dislike you or disrespect you or mistreat you or speak negatively about you or whatever the case is, that you still can feel confident in who you are, you know, and not let stuff like this get you. Because this right here was triggering to me. I did feel triggered by this interview. I did feel like, damn, after all this, you're talking about some like this. Like, what are you talking about, Eva? You're not making sense right now, you know, because again, words mean things. So I do want to say that if you were triggered by that, or even if you weren't, if you have little girls at home that you know will have to hear these types of random ass, blatant, disrespectful things sometimes one day, that you can tell them that these things are steeped in white supremacy and the people that say these things are very, very, very misinformed. The way that Latino women, some, you know, view themselves on a pedestal because of the way this country puts them as a sex symbol, right, above all else. It is harmful to them and us, you know, and it creates this separation and this false sense of superiority in the communities. And this reminded me of Gina Rodriguez, because she made not similar comments, but super, super random and unhelpful comments a while back, you know, about Latino women in comparison to black women. And it was like, sis, why are you talking? Why do you feel the need to insert yourself in this right now? And I think that because black women have been fighting for so hard for certain things, for certain respect and accolades, and just simply like fighting for our lives for so long, they Latino women feel the need to speak and say, wait, what about us too? What about us too? And listen, I'm not here to play oppression Olympics. I'm not here to say who has it worse, who has it better. It ain't my position. But I will say that it is disrespectful to try to minimize someone else's message to get yours across. So I'm never gonna deny that Latino women have had to fight for certain things the same way that other races of women had to fight for certain things. It's not my position to do that. But just don't diminish black women's struggle to shed light on yours. And don't minimize the effect that we have on these elections, or that we have in certain spaces that we fought for. It's just frustrating. It's very frustrating. And I think that growing up as a black woman, like I said, surrounded by Latino culture, I've just seen how, especially living in Miami, where, as you guys know, if you kind of was up on the election, there are a lot of people here that voted for Donald Trump. You know, a lot of people that just voted for Donald Trump, you know, and this is my city, you know, so I'm not surprised. I understand their politics. I understand their viewpoints. I understand how they really feel about a lot of different things. And I just think that those type of statements that Eva Longoria made, and I'm even bringing in, you know, Gina Rodriguez, because those comments are very indicative of the mindset of people that do not see black women as equal and as important and as impactful, even though we are more impactful than a lot of people. I mean, there's so many different things that black women do that are taken from us. So for us to do this, for us to show up in these numbers, and then you want to take that and spin it and talk about who's the real heroine. And I know you say you didn't mean what you said, but I'm sorry, like, words mean things. Words mean things. So it's really hard for me to believe you, sis. I mean, I'm gonna call you no liar or whatever, but it just seemed improbable. I actually have a black owned brand that sent me some lip products. Where's my liner? Oh, here it is. So they sent me some lip product. This is Crown Case, also black owned. But this is called Pink Lips. They sent me some nude lips and some liner. So I put it on last night, so I really like the combination. This is the liner in the color High Profile Brown. Let me know if you guys understand my point. You know, I really try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, I really try. I really do. And if you say that you meant something different than what you said, I'm gonna try to understand you. But that just seems so improbable because words mean things, you know? This is called Brown Skin. Ooh, this is pretty. This is pretty, but I want to go a little bit lighter. Let me see. I'm gonna put on So Popular. I think it's too light now. I don't like it, you guys. For this look, I wanted to do a very muted, very like barely there lip. So I'm gonna go in with a different lip. They have this lipstick and it's called Tawny, also from Pink Lip Cosmetics. It came in a PR package. This is what I wanted. Yeah. Very like barely there type of lip. Anyways, so I'm getting off topic. Let me know if you guys understand my point in the comment section. I do feel like black women always have to take the punches. Whether that comes from preference, whether that comes from, oh, get over it. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Oh, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's always roll with the punches. And sometimes I don't want to roll with the punches. And I don't want you guys to do it either. You know, we are allowed to call people out on their BS. We are allowed to question ridiculous things people say, like Eva Longoria or Gina Rodriguez, you know? And I think that we can no longer pretend like there isn't racism and discrimination within the Latino community that affects black women. And we can't act like some black men haven't adopted those beliefs as well. And we've heard it. What's that girl name? She was dating Joe Budden. What is her name? Sin Santana was talking about it a while ago too, how black men treat Latina women better and da-da-da-da-da. We heard it. And I don't care if you apologize. I don't care if you didn't mean it that way, because you said what you said and say it with your chest, okay? But at the end of the day, when you said what you said, you meant it. So now that you're being called out and called to the forefront, you want to backtrack and change your tone. And listen, like I said, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I'm gonna say I don't know just for sake of just being like, you know, a little bit forgiving. But sis, let me go put my wig on. Hold on. All right, you guys, I'm gonna put my little headband wig on. What do you think? Okay. Let me know in the comments if you understand where I was coming from, if you've had any similar experiences. If you haven't, I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. I done put on my little From My Kinks earrings. These earrings are available in my shop if you guys are interested. Hope that you enjoyed today's video. I'm actually curious to hear your opinions in the comments. So for today's giveaway, because we are on day 3 of the KandidKinks 50K Marathon Giveaway Extravaganza, okay? So for today's giveaway, it's Instagram component. As I said before, every video will not have Instagram. Yesterday's video did not, but today's video is going to have Instagram in it. Follow me on Instagram and leave your Instagram name in the comment section so I can check. That's it. Follow me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, leave your Instagram name in the comment section, and that's it, okay? And I'll be picking the winners for today's giveaway. Like I'm doing every other giveaway, at the end of the week, I'll be announcing the winners and contacting you guys just like that. So for today, follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, and comment your Instagram name in the comment section, as well as some thoughts on this video topic. I think it's a really good topic. I think that it is relatable for a lot of Black women, and I think that we need to be more vocal about the things that people do that affect us. And that's just that. That's just that. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.